Welcome to the Explainer. So today we are going to decode Elon Musk's massive blueprint for the future of all humanity. It's this incredible vision that really connects everything from rockets to robots and even our own consciousness into one single cohesive plan. Let's break it down.
So, Musk kicks things off with this pretty huge claim, right? He really believes we're not just living in another decade or another century. No, we are at a totally unique turning point in all of history, one that could lead to a future that's almost unimaginable from where we're standing right now.
Okay, so let's dive into this master plan. It is sprawling. It stretches across multiple companies, different technologies, from SpaceX to Tesla and way beyond. But believe it or not, it all comes from one surprisingly simple core philosophy. To really get this whole thing, we actually have to start not with the engineering, but with the philosophy, the mission. It's this urgent need to protect what Musk sees as the most precious and maybe the rarest thing in the entire universe. And this is it. This is the big why behind everything. It's not just about building cool tech for the sake of it. No, it's about using that technology as a tool to make sure that human civilization doesn't just survive, but that it actually thrives and has a great future.
What's really interesting is how he frames this whole mission. He basically argues that, as far as we know, consciousness is a total cosmic anomaly. It's this rare, incredibly fragile flicker of light in what is otherwise a dark and, unthinking universe.
And that leads to this powerful metaphor that is really the key to all of it. Protecting this tiny candle of consciousness is the ultimate goal. And that's the fundamental reason behind his most famous company, SpaceX. So the crucial point here is that becoming a multiplanetary species isn't just some cool adventure. It's an insurance policy. It's a backup plan. So that if some catastrophe happens on Earth, natural or, man-made, consciousness itself will be safe somewhere else. But okay, just preserving the candle isn't the whole story. The plan is also about making sure we have a great future right here on Earth. And to do that, you need to create what he calls sustainable abundance. He pictures this future where AI and humanoid robots produce such a massive amount of goods and services that they can literally satisfy every single human need. And that, he says, will lead to an economic boom unlike anything we have ever seen in history. And this really highlights a fundamental trade-off. To get to that future of total, universal abundance, the very idea of work has to change. You just can't have both. You can't have a system that relies on mandatory human labor and a world of total abundance.
Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing. Billions of robots, massive AI everywhere, but there's a catch. Building and running all of that requires a truly immense amount of a resource that, frankly, we're already struggling to produce enough of.
So according to Musk, the single biggest hurdle, the main constraint on this whole future of AI and robots and abundance is energy, specifically electrical power.
So what's his solution? Well, he says, let's go straight to the source. He points out that when it comes to the energy available in our solar system, everything that isn't the sun is basically a rounding error. It's all about the sun.
And to put the sheer scale of this into perspective, get this. He estimates that a single field of solar panels, just 100 miles by 100 miles, that's a tiny corner of a state like Nevada, could generate enough electricity to power the entire United States.
But the ultimate solution for energy isn't even here on the ground. And this, right here, is where his two biggest ventures, space exploration and artificial intelligence, come together in a really dramatic way.
Starship is the key. It's the linchpin. Because it's designed for full reusability, a first in history, it's set to just slash the cost of getting stuff into orbit by a factor of 100. 100 times cheaper.
So when launch costs drop like that, the entire economic equation just flips on its head. Think about it. A solar panel in space is way more effective than one on the ground, and space itself is a perfect, free, super cold environment for cooling servers. The end result? Musk predicts space will become the lowest cost place to put AI compute power in just 2 to 3 years.
So you combine cheap access to space with nearly limitless solar power, and what you get is a timeline for AI development that is moving at a truly breathtaking speed.
So here's the timeline he predicts. He thinks that by early 2027, AI will be smarter than any single human being. Just a year later, space becomes the cheapest place for it to live. And by 2031, AI could be smarter than all of humanity combined. That is just an incredible acceleration.
Okay, so what does this all add up to? You have a plan to protect consciousness out among the stars, and another plan to create near-limitless abundance here on Earth, and the whole thing is being supercharged by an intelligence explosion. So what are we supposed to make of a future like that?
You know, despite all these monumental changes and the massive disruptions that could come with them, Musk's core message is actually one of profound optimism. He really believes this is a future we should all be excited about.
So the technological blueprint is there. It's laid out. But it leaves us with what are maybe the most important questions of all. When work isn't necessary anymore, and we share the planet with an intelligence that is far, far greater than our own, what is our purpose going to be? What will it even mean to be human?